What's up, ladies and gentle-tubers? Today we are talking about the upcoming eveRide tours through the Badlands and beyond. But my wife is due literally any second with our baby, and she's having contractions. She's had contractions for the last 2 weeks. There are some slight complications, and we've gone in with a false labor already, so I hope you don't mind watching some footage that I took last week for the WR reveal, because I'm not going to leave her side. So anyway, I've got some really big changes coming to the channel, and I'm really excited about them. Changes to the whole eveRide business model. And it's stuff that the vast majority of you guys who took the surveys really wanted. And I want to thank you guys so much for the feedback on those. That was super, super helpful. Anyway, recently I've had a few catalysts to change some things up. During the WR build, I lost one of my cameras in the waterfall, and then I crashed a drone near the waterfall, and then I lost a phone in the waterfall trying to find the camera that I lost in the waterfall. And then I had about $1,000 in car repairs because I let my brother drive it to the waterfall. No, I'm just kidding, Jay. You didn't ruin it. But, you know, maybe you did. I don't know. But anyway, I should probably stay away from that waterfall from now on. You know, and then, of course, there's the aforementioned baby. And, man, for something that comes out of your wife, those things are really expensive. Oh, but anyway, not all is lost. Colorado Dual Sport and Hermit the Vlog came to the rescue. Hermit says that he hates his Sony action camera anyways, you know, and it's so clearly better than any GoPro. But, you know, he's you know, going to send me his Sony because otherwise he says it'd end up in a garbage disposal or something. And then Jeff Arado Dual Sport has an old phone that he's sending, so thank you guys so much. And I'm trying to rope these guys into this whole plan that I'm going to lay out for you, but, you know, Hermit still doesn't want anybody to see his face. But, you know, we'll see if maybe he can just keep his helmet on for the whole thing. But anyway, so I had this realization that my channel's never going to be, like, super huge, ever. It's super niche, and even Adam Riemann, who makes amazing content, and he's sponsored, and he's a pro racer with millions of views, he only has like 120,000 subscribers, and my channel is not even close to his in terms of quality and writing skill and stuff. But anyway, there's this site called Social Blade, and it does all these YouTube stats, and it says that I won't reach 100,000 subscribers until 2019. And according to my calculations, 100,000 subscribers is about what I'd need to make what I made as a school teacher. So, you know, something's got to give, because I'll be honest, I'm kind of tired of scraping by. I mean, it was cool for a while to live on the edge, but it's been like 2 years now, and you know, I'd like to maybe save some money for retirement, or have insurance, or pay some people back that I owe money to, you know, so they don't come and break my knees, you know, that kind of stuff. So what I'm saying here is that I feel like with YouTube, I've kind of been barking up the wrong tree. You know, you remember the ADV for All series? It's kind of like that. I mean, I loved making it. I loved the trip. I absolutely loved the people that I got to meet, especially, you know, but in the middle of the series, I realized that it wasn't getting any traction, and my time would be better spent making other videos. And that's not because I didn't want to do the ADV for All series, but because I have limited time, and I have to make videos that will in some way support my family. And, you know, YouTube and Amazon are pretty shaky baskets for all of my eggs to be in, you know, so that's why I threw those surveys out there. And man, oh, you guys, I'm seriously pumped for the feedback that you guys gave to me, and we'll get right to that. So for the majority of the perks that were listed in the survey, people were kind of like, meh, and most responses averaged like 2.5 on the interest scale out of 1 to 5. But, and it's a huge but, on the responses for the ultimate tour, you know, the 3 to 4 days of touring with a Senna and a camera and access to state and national parks and all that goodness, and then the footage and getting a video, the average was in the 4s. So very, very high interest. Almost everybody who took the survey in the United States gave touring the Badlands a 5. And even some guys in Europe and Australia and South America were like, I'd come to the States for that, I'd pay for that. So another big point of the feedback was, why not have an event fee instead of a monthly fee? And that's a good question. And so for now, I've pretty much ditched the monthly subscription idea for the tours, but may do it for other perks. So we'll see. But and then here's the crazy part. So there was this, there was the question, what would you pay for this perk when it came to that ultimate tour? And people could answer whatever they wanted. But the average, with all the outliers taken out, was almost $200 per month. And I was definitely not expecting that. That's an average of about $2,400 per tour, which, in my opinion is like, holy crud, that's a ton of money. But then some guys in the survey were like, don't undersell yourself. Don't undersell yourself. Charge a lot for this. This is your time on secret local trails in small groups, and then to be in a video is huge. And, some guys were like, don't charge anything less than $5,000 for this. Because apparently there are really popular tours out there that get booked almost immediately that don't include a video or Senas or cameras or, and they were telling me they've got these big, huge impersonal groups that basically, they go and ride fire roads and they charge thousands of dollars to be a part of. And so they were like, you're offering way more than those guys, so don't undersell yourself. But then there's kind of this other mindset, and that's kind of my mindset. But, there's guys in the community that are like, please don't charge too much for these tours because your core audience is, they're budget-minded riders. So anyway, I'm kind of stuck in the middle. So for the last 2 weeks, as I kept getting these responses like don't charge too little and then don't charge too much, I've just been racking my brain on how to do this and satisfy everybody. Because I do want to make sure this venture is worth my time. I want to support my family by taking risks and working really hard like any good entrepreneur would. But I also really do want to meet a ton of people. And, this is a budget channel. I agree with that. And then one other thing is, one of my biggest focuses from the beginning of all of this, like the way far beginning, back when eveRide was a snowboarding thing, is to do good for other people. And that's why it's a .org. This has been in my mind for a long time that I've needed to do something to give back. And so I've been really inspired by, like Riders for Warriors. That was just, started grassroots. And then the Motorcycle Relief Project is, pretty recently started. Such a cool idea. And I've wanted to do something similar, or even work with those guys to collaborate. But I've never really had the resources, and I've never really had any good ideas to really make a difference for them. So anyway, the whole thing is kind of a tall order, to make enough money with the tours that make it worth my time and effort to host them, enough to pay for all the business expenses of running a tour company, all that stuff. But then also still make it available to guys on a budget. That in and of itself is really tough. And then to do some kind of service for people who have served both the country and the community. And like a light bulb, I was going to pick my friend up to go on a ride, and it just like, bing, anyway. So here's how I'm thinking of doing it. So to get a booking, you'll apply by telling me a little bit about yourself, on a form. What you do, what kind of bike you ride, the terrain you like to ride best, what kind of accommodations you want, like if you're good with just camping, or if you want some posh hotel, kinds of things that you're interested in seeing. Do you want like a long road ride? Do you want short dual sport rips? Do you want to just ride dirt? Do you just want to ride street? Whatever, all that stuff. You'll answer all those questions. And then you'll make a bid on what you can afford. And, that would have a minimum so that my costs are covered and people aren't just wasting their time and my time by bidding like $100 for the whole tour, which would essentially cost me money. But now, the odds of getting the booking won't be based on the financial bid only, but they'd be based also on your story and what kind of bike you ride and the availability to ride, what dates that you can ride. So anybody could potentially make it. So anyway, I'd probably ask for your Facebook and your YouTube information, you know, that way I can kind of look you up and make sure that you're not some kind of a psychopath. And I can also see how engaged you've been with the channel, because I really do want to reward people who have been true fans of the channel for a long time. I mean, I just want to do that. So anyway, so let's say that you don't want to hassle with the bidding and you just want a guaranteed spot in the trip, and maybe you want everything taken care of for you, like the hotel and food. You know, I'd take you to the best restaurants in the area. And maybe, you know, a hard drive thrown in with all of the footage shipped to you after the trip, maybe even a massage after one of the rides. Not by me, but by like an actual masseuse. You know, just the royal treatment. And you're one of those guys who suggested that I don't charge anything less than $5,000. Well, you know, maybe we'd have like a maximum bid or like a buy it now on eBay. You know, where you're just guaranteeing a booking with all the perks and with some extra benefits, like maybe even a day extra of one-on-one riding or something like that. So you could do that, but now here's where things get really, really awesome and what I'm really, really pumped about. When somebody bids the maximum for, you know, that full moto treatment, we're gonna go like Tom's shoes on it all. So if you know about Tom's shoes, you know about them. But if you don't, basically it's a shoe company where when you buy a pair of shoes from them, they give a pair of shoes to a kid in need. So I really like that idea. So here's the thing, when somebody bids that maximum amount, they will get a tour and all the perks and super awesome stuff. But then also somebody else will get some moto therapy as well. Somebody who applied for a tour so that they have some skin in the game, you know, and I know they want to go and I know the dates and stuff, you know, who has served our country in some way or another, or who could use just a little throttle therapy in their life. But basically, they would take care of somebody else coming out, almost like, you know, Extreme Makeover Home Edition, except for Moto Tour Edition. But anyway, you know, what would that max be? Well, I was thinking to keep it less expensive and make sure that we can do a lot of good for a lot of people who deserve it. It would be right around what the average was on the survey. So not $5,000, you know, anyway, and that might change in time depending on the demand, but I think that it sounds really good for now. And the minimum bid or the reserve would probably be just enough to cover my costs and cover my butt if anything went wrong, insurance-wise or whatever. But, you know, anyway, oh, and what about the people who don't win bids? I still want to meet you guys and have you guys come out and ride, so even though I don't have all the details worked out yet, I'm still kind of crunching it through my brain. You know, maybe we could have a few larger rallies, up to like, you know, 30, 40 people, that we could go out, still enjoy a ride, but it wouldn't be like, you know, a personal tour. But that way, you know, because I really do want to meet as many people as I possibly can. So anyway, that way, everybody's happy. You know, the guys who have the money to make it happen can make it happen, and they'll do good for others in the process, which I don't think anybody has a problem with. You know, they get an exclusive tour, you know, maximum 8 people, including me and one other host, with perks that nobody else gets, like maybe a day of extra riding just one-on-one. And then, you know, the guys on the budget and the longtime fans of the channel, they can still get bookings. They just, you know, you guys just bid what you can afford and tell me your story. Because, you know, while I want to make enough to support the cost of business and my family, like I said, I really want to ride with and meet as many people as I can. So, you know, and then the best part, the part that makes me feel warm and fuzzy, is the guys who I really, really want to help. You know, men and women who have served the country and the community, like military or police or fire or teachers or EMTs or youth counselors, or, you know, whoever. You know, maybe it's somebody who just suffered a loss, or a dad who wants to just come out and ride with his son who's struggling or something, or a husband and wife, or, you know, just, you know, think of Extreme Makeover, just people with stories. Anyway, they apply and they bid, so they do have some skin in the game. And then if we've got some good people out there, and I know we do from the surveys, you know, we can give these kinds of people some throttle therapy out here in the Badlands, and it will be an awesome experience. So anyway, you know, right now there's probably people who are like, you know, what about the YouTube channel? And thinking about it, I will be riding with new people on different bikes in different areas, hosting amazing tours with tons of different cameras. And so there's going to be, after I do this, there will be more content for this channel than ever. And the cool part about it is that you guys get to be the stars of that content. So guys, let me know what you think of that plan in the comments below. And if you want to apply and throw a bid out there right now for the initial adventure tour, the beta run, if you will, to work out all the crazy kinks and help me jumpstart this new adventure. If you want to get in on the first tour, probably sometime in the fall, depending on the dates that I get in the applications, click the link in the description, fill out the application, and place your bid. There's only going to be 6 spots available, and depending on how this first one goes, it might be the only one that I ever do. But it might be the beginning of an amazing adventure. So anyway, keep in mind that this first booking is going to be pretty raw. I will work my hardest to try to show you guys the very best of the Badlands and be an awesome guide. But there could be hiccups. I mean, that's just how it is in any new business. But if you want to try it out, it is going to make for a legitimate, amazing adventure. And I'm sure it's going to make for an awesome video. So for the rest of you guys who just want to see how it plays out, definitely a few thousand heads are better than one. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. I've read and really appreciate the feedback that you guys have given on the survey. That's where these ideas have come from. And I hope this is a solid middle ground where everybody wins and everybody gets pumped. So go ahead and get pumped, because I'm going to be doing the pilot tour here very soon, and then I've got some business stuff to deal with, and then there's going to be an announcement trailer, and then if all goes well, we will start doing official bids and bookings. And seriously, I cannot wait to see you guys out here in the Badlands riding and shredding with me. It's going to be so awesome, you guys. So man, I'm just super excited. But thank you guys again for the feedback on the surveys. If you want to be part of the first tour, hit it up. I will be so stoked to see you guys. So much love, guys. This truly is the most amazing community of riders in the planet. I cannot wait to meet you and ride with you guys. So much love, guys. eveRide out.